I don't speak the language. Could you teach me?
Spent my whole life looking for love. Somebody told me attention is one hell of a drug. Got me fighting my intentions when we cutting the rug. Love the way you compliment me, fell in love with the love, man. Hey, this shit fucking me up. Every time that I see you, feel like I'm catching a buzz. Back when I was a shorty, I didn't know what it was. I tried to fight all the feelings, but I was catching a buzz. Like, nah, baby, we don't break dance, but I make bands, and I shake a great hand.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of The Loft. I'm your host, Felix, a.k.a. Felix the Don, a.k.a. Top 2 and Not 2. So we got a good show for y'all tonight, man. It's producer edition today. So we're going to bring on some GOATs in the game. They're really making beats for a lot of dope people. They're doing sessions for a lot of dope people. I've known these guys for a really long time, and we're going to have some good conversation, sip a little bit, smoke a little bit. You know how we do it. So I do want to say we really appreciate everybody for checking out the first episode and rocking with us. We're going to keep these coming every other week the first season. And if y'all keep messing with us, man, we're going to start dropping even more. So make sure you go follow us everywhere at The Loft 313. That's on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, all that. And make sure you go subscribe and hit the like button and turn your reminders on. My boy, what's good? My dog, what's good?
Shit. Cool. You know, another day, just on the grind.
Yeah, I got the homies with me today, man. This is special. So, you know, a lot of people don't know, or a lot of people may know, I've been rocking with Anton for a minute. We met in his parents' garage. It was like Christmas or something. We couldn't get in the studio. Me and Gamo worked with you, and we've been rocking ever since. And then Chris, bro, we go way back, man. I met Chris. He initiated me in our fraternity, and it's been fucking vibes ever since. How y'all boys doing, man?
Straight, dog. You know me.
Amazing.
Another dollar.
Hell yeah. So I wanna get right into it and kind of, you know, let y'all talk about yourself and what you got going on. So we're gonna start with Chris. So Chris, tell the people like where you from and
Shit, man. Y'all know Detroit, Michigan, born and raised, South Linwood. I've really just been happy that, you know, I'm taking over the city as far as this engineering shit for real. But, you know, got my start with you.
yeah.
We've been working forever.
Yeah, man. Pyland back in Fair State.
Yeah.
Chris was
Recording
making
in the room,
in
bro.
the room, bro.
Yeah.
Chris I remember one day he called me like, nigga, come to the studio. This nigga made a mic booth with some wood, bro.
Stop it.
Hey, he was so excited. He like, nigga, we own.
Wait, in your room?
Bro.
It was like the attic of this big ass house we had, bro.
Yeah.
And it was maybe like 5.5 feet, bro. Like you had to kind of squat.
You had to
down
squat in
and
that
down
bitch
to get
for
in
sure,
bitch.
bro. That shit
Hot
was
as
crazy.
fuck. But my mind was there, but I just saying I understand how to really go about that.
He built
shit
that
for
bitch,
real.
nigga. That's it. We just getting it out the mud for real.
Damn. But look what we got now. You know
No,
what I'm
for real.
Yeah.
So Anton, tell the people, man, where you from and you know how'd you get started?
Man, I'm from, the burbs, Warren, Michigan. I'll be in the
Shout
burbs.
out Warren.
Shout out Warren, 696. I grew up around music. My dad was a producer and everything, so he had a studio downtown. I just kind of developed the love for it around that, and I started engineering in my parents' garage, you know what I mean? And had you over one day, and then you introduced me to Mike. Well, I met Mike before at, it was a listening party for Love Frank.
Okay.
And he had dropped a single or something like that, or an EP, and we did a whole listening party. And I met him there, but I didn't really connect with him there as much as I did when I met him with you, when you took me to the studio that one time. That's crazy, bro, because I think about that all the time. I'm like, man, I owe these two right here flowers, because, like, man, they really put me into the place of where I needed to shine, and that's just really what happened. And Mike loved it from there, and we developed a relationship, and I started working at Get Fresh and worked there for like 4 years, starting in like, I don't even remember what it was, like 2018
around that time.
You started like what 8 months before I did, I think.
Yeah.
A year or something like that.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro, it was that long
It's
ago?
been that
That's
long,
crazy.
bro. Yeah.
I gotta tell the story a little bit more. So I talked about it a little bit. So we met in it was Christmas. Mike was like, I'm not working on Christmas Eve. Me and Gamo was trying to record. We didn't give a fuck what day it was. Shout out Gamo, man, my nigga. He ain't here yet.
Gamo.
Bro.
Yeah.
But
Boy.
anyway, so we had to record. So I think I hit up one of my Tower homies, because I went to Lincoln, so you know Tower and Lincoln, it goes hand in hand. We was always rivals in sports and all that shit too. So I'm like, bro, who knows a studio I can go to? And one of the homies told me about you, and we came and recorded Everybody Know Me. Gamo still loves that song to this day. He made me perform that song at a concert 3 weeks ago. He like, bro, that song's so hard. And no cap, the crowd was singing the song by the end of it. Like, you know, his Everybody Know Me. I'm an OD nigga for the police. Yeah. On the the crowd was going crazy. I'm like, okay, because I did not want to do that song. I'm like, bro, I didn't even know the lyrics. But they was fucking with it though. So we did that song. And we was just rock, bro, in a garage. I had never been anywhere other than Get Fresh that sounded that clean and the mix was that good. And Mike just happened to be looking for interns. So I was like, bro, come to the studio. And now ATP's the man, bro. Boy, living like,
bro,
man,
going everywhere,
going crazy.
all over the West. Bro. Back, forth, then come to Detroit.
Going crazy.
Man,
so it's, bro, I'm so proud of you, man. And it's a blessing that you're here right now. You feel me? And I saw you were in town. I'm like, bro, we gotta get you on the podcast. We gotta talk about this.
Definitely. I'm glad I was able to connect with you guys because this is where it all started for real. In this exact location with these exact people. Yeah, like this is family right here. So
yeah. And then Chris, we met like I said, we met during the fraternity days, but we started rocking. A lot of people don't know this story about Chris, and Chris don't tell his story, but I'm gonna tell it. So I got signed. I ain't gonna tell you who signed me. I got signed to a 360 back in the day, and I needed it at the time. It came with studio time. They were shooting videos, doing the whole nine for me. It was cool. You right? Okay, but then the first recording session, right? We get in the studio.
Oh no!
And they're like, the producer's like, "All right, you want to go through some beats?" I was like, "I already got songs. I got 10 songs ready to go. He's like, "Oh, you're not using my beats? I'm not recording you." Yeah. I was like, "Excuse me?" Yeah. So I call the label owner. Label owner gets on the phone. He said, "You're recording. You don't have a choice." Bro, stankest attitude, barely talking to me the whole time, walking in and out of the session. I remember I called Chris like the next day. I was like, "Bro,
this ain't gonna work,
I was like,
bro.
it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Not going to work." I never went back to that studio. Chris randomly calls me a couple weeks later. He's like, "Bro, I got an idea." Literally comes to the city from Big Rapids, buys me out of my 360 deal. Yeah.
Damn.
Cashes me out of my 360.
Yeah.
Shit.
I forget how much it was. I think it was like three
racks, something like that. Cash me out of my 360 deal.
Fire.
Starts a label. And that's the birth of Live Hype. Live Hype Entertainment.
Let's
go.
go.
We was crunching, bro.
We was crunching, bro.
I missed them days.
And honestly, like, as much as we can, whatever you look at Live Hype, failure, success, I look at it as a success because we
Definitely
wouldn't be where we are right now without those learning curves and what we went through. So shout out Big Chris,
bro,
man. Round of applause for Big Chris
Thank
on the set, bro.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's where we got our start. And like we said, bro, look where we at now. It's crazy. So let's go into that topic. So Chris, what are you doing right now? Let the people know what you've been on, man.
Man, I'm doing a lot, bro. I'm doing a fucking lot. So, Sada going on tour in September. I think September 9th or the 10th is the first day. But right now, I'm just getting songs together, stuff for him to perform, trying to drop a project like right before he go on tour. So I'm getting that done. Me and Skilla, we got a bunch of songs. He hot as shit right now.
Yeah.
Man, we got a lot of work going right now. Hopefully, Baby Money and Tay B been tapping in with me, so I'm hoping to keep that relationship going. But shit, just grinding, bro, day in, day out.
All motion.
Right after I get done with here, what I'm doing, working, of course.
Yeah,
always working.
Sir.
We working. We in the studio tonight, baby.
Yes,
Gotta
sir.
make some bangers.
We
It don't stop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I came from work to come here.
Yeah.
I was flipping packs this morning.
Absolutely.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what's up, man. So, like, what is that like being in that situation? Because that came about random. Like, you remember when that happened? Like, Sada was just on Instagram looking for an engineer, and now it's 2-3 years later. Like, what is that like?
Well, I think some of it helped because we did Reason with him. In 2018, so it wasn't like he didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
But he just was on Instagram looking for an engineer, and everybody tagged me. Shout out to everybody who was following me at that time who helped me get that. But yeah, he DM'd me, and shit, we've been locked in for 3 years now.
Yeah.
3 years now. The first tape I did with him was Bartier Bounty 2. And it went, I think, number 4 on the Heat Seeker chart on Billboard. So I did 8 of them songs, bro. So that was huge for me, man.
Yeah. Niggas been going crazy, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And then Anton, you've been going like we was talking about earlier. You've been going crazy, bro.
This
nigga
crazy,
Anton been going crazy.
We always find a way.
Tell the people what's going on in your life, man. What you doing? What you got up? What you working on?
Just a lot going on, bro. I'm just working with Kid a lot, Cash Kid. I'm doing everything with him, you know.
How did that come about? Because we haven't talked much since that happened. So what happened? Tell us that story. This is exclusive right here. I don't think you've told this story yet.
No, yeah. Well, it was funny because I first worked with him when I had T Grizzly pull up to the studio back at Get Fresh a minute ago.
I do remember that.
And that was a wild story because I was only in the studio that night. I had booked like 1 or 2 hours, and I felt real. When I worked here, if I didn't have more than like 4 or 5 hours booked on my time frame, you know what I mean? I had the nighttime, 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. to like fucking every single night damn near. And, bro, I felt so bad if I didn't get at least 5 hours, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Because I got to make money and I got to make Mike money. Like, I want to be that dude that's like everybody's coming to and I need to be locked in, you know what I mean? I knew it was that time. So that night, I only had like 2 hours booked, an hour booked maybe. I don't even remember. It was like petty hours. I was like, whatever. So I was doing the session and I get this random call from a random number, and I'm literally in the middle of recording. And I just let it go. I was like, whatever, working. Calls me right back. And I'm like, something told me was like, just pick up the phone. And I don't pick up the phone while I'm in the studio, you know what I mean? His phone's sitting right here. Picked up the phone. He was like, hello? I was like, yo, who is this? What's good? Right? I was like, he was like, hey, yo, this kid, I got T Grizzly in town. I need a session. He was like, you available? I said, yup. Whenever you need it, I'm here, bro. Like, just pull up. He's like, all right, I'll be there around. I don't even remember what he said, 1. So that night, I had like an hour or 2 of like free time after the session to like get things together before he said like he was pulling up at 1. And he ended up pulling up at like 3. I cleaned up the studio. I made sure everything was right. I was like looking up like how tall T Grizzly was to make sure the mic was already good for him and shit like that. Like I was like trying to make sure it was all perfect. You know what I mean? And he ended up and at a point I texted Mike. I was like, yo, just letting you know T might be pulling up. I don't know if you want to like if you take over. I was giving him like the chance. I was like, it's up to you, bro. He was like. It might not. He was like, all right, it might not happen. Let me know. I'm gonna shower and get ready, and I'll still pull up. And he was like, all right, cool. They end up pulling up, and I'm texting Mike. I'm like, yo, he's here.
Right.
Yeah, like he just pulled out the back door.
And it's your first big client.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, dang, I gotta put the big boy pants on for the first time. I'm like, ooh, okay. So I do. They pull up, and we're talking for a minute. And, you know, we have good conversations. He's like, pull up the beat, play the beat, and get a Pro Tools session going. Everything's perfect. I did the Pro Tools session. I had everything ready. I had all the telephone effects all set up. I had the vocals sounding crispy. I think I even did a vocal take myself just to make sure that it was sounding good. You know what I mean? Because he walked out of the studio when he was done. He was like, this sounds already mixed. I'm like, just wait till I mix it.
Yeah. Shout
Hold
out
up.
Get Fresh. One thing
T,
about Get Fresh,
give me a second.
It's already mixed when you in the booth,
Bro,
baby.
straight up.
Nigga, I don't record nowhere else.
It was a
because
cheat
of
code.
that. It's a cheat code.
It was a cheat code because at one point I was like,
same template, bro. Since we started.
I changed mine a little bit for sure, but like that's just I have like different preferences now for my workflow, but like I still have like little things that I have from the template for sure. That's like 100% shout out Mike, man. He set up something that is like legendary for real.
So that's a template.
Shout out Get Fresh Studio.
I did not know that was some secret
Mike
sauce.
made the template.
Bro, it was a cheat code.
Chris knows. I was in Cali, nigga, a few months ago. Recorded a whole song with Vori. Shout out Vori.
Yeah,
nigga, paid to record this song in a beautiful studio. Worst song I've ever heard in my life.
Man.
I played him an unmixed song from Get Fresh. He was like, that's not mixed. He's like, there's no way that's not mixed. I'm like, bro, that's me singing in a mic.
For
like,
real.
This shit's horrible. And I left and re-recorded the song with Chris.
Bro, that's what everybody says.
$250 down the drain. I was pissed.
$250.
And I take the verse, by the way. I paid $250 for that bitch.
Man.
50 in LA, God, and it was trash.
And it was trash. I still got the song. I'll never play it for you because it sounds horrible.
You know, it's crazy. It's that story that everybody tells you. You know what I mean? When you work, you know, and I know you get this a lot too. When you work at a good studio and you develop that sound and you have it for yourself now, and people go to other studios and say like, man, my shit just don't sound the same. Yeah. You don't know how many times I've heard that shit. Yeah. I'm like, when I look at when they say it, I'm like, look it, bro. Story of my life. I got you. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. I got you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because at that point, we got gold. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
There's no point to record anywhere else.
No, for sure.
I don't. Niggas got to show me something. It's so funny.
It's other studios, big studios in the city, that literally send us mixes to do for their clients.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, the biggest studios in Michigan, I have people go to the biggest studios out here. I was just telling my pops this. I was getting mad. I was hyped up. I was like, Pops, why the hell are people going to these big ass studios and then coming to me in my brother's, like when I'm here, I'm chilling at my brother's house. I'm in my brother's fucking upstairs on my MacBook speakers, and they're telling me my shit sounds better. I was like, how is that possible, Pops?
It don't make sense.
It does not make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
But it's
more the man than the equipment a lot of times too. Like obviously your equipment's got to be right, but it's like I said, the studio in Cali was beautiful. I walked in there feeling real confident. I'm like, oh, this shit about to be fire.
Exactly.
Shit was horrible.
What's the nicest studio you've been to?
Nicest studio I've been to? I've been to Royal House. We recorded with Hell over there.
Just anywhere.
And then the nicest studio other than Royal House was the one in California. It was like, I forget what it was called, but it was like you had to like go into this building and then go up the stairs and then outside. And you have to walk across this like skyline thing into another building, and then with the whole upstairs was a studio, and it had big windows and shit, big dumbass screens on the wall. That shit was nice as hell. Sounded fucking horrible. He recorded me at Ableton too. I remember that shit.
See, no, bro, I can't. You fuck with Ableton.
When he pulled Ableton up, I was mad as hell.
Bro, everybody's on Ableton tip. I go to make a beat. I go to make a beat with somebody to collab, and they're like, I got Ableton. I'm like, okay,
absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. What about you? What's the nicest studio you've been or worked at?
Oh man.
Yeah, because I know you've been to some shit in between Vegas and LA.
That's a tough question, bro, because LA's got some beautiful studios.
The bitch is expensive.
I've been to I want to say the nicest studio I've ever been to is Aftermaster Studio in Hollywood. Okay. And a lot of records were done out of that studio with Beyonce, Justin Bieber, and I was just telling you before we started this.
Yeah.
Bro, the energy in those rooms. Yeah. When you are in there, you can feel it, bro. Like, it is crazy. It is nuts. So, that's probably the nicest studio I've ever been to. You walk in, it's like there's one building that's like kind of like offices and stuff like that, and you can set up studio in there, but then you go downstairs outside, and then you go to a separate little like garage kind of room, but it's not a garage. But that's what it kind of looks like. And you walk in, and there's like plaques all over the wall, beautiful like seating and like refrigerator, da-da-da. You walk in, bathrooms to the left, you keep walking, you open up the door, and then you're in this gorgeous studio with all the fucking toys in the world, bro. Like, as far as outboard gear, you know what I mean? Like, that's like...
Bro, see, places like that, I get overwhelmed because I'm just like, I don't even know where to begin.
No, because, bro, yeah, and you're right. But usually when you go to places like that, they have somebody there that knows the room. You know what I mean? They don't expect you to go in there and know everything. You know what I mean?
For sure,
you got to understand the room and know how things are routed. You know what I mean? And else you're going to mess it all up. You know what I mean? So they always have somebody there to help you out. And I was with my buddy Joe Hello, too, when I was working there. And he, like, knew all the ins and outs. So like it was so cool working out of there. And I worked out of there for like months. It was like 2 or 3 months where I was in and out. And I worked with this violinist, Brian King Joseph, and he's my brother now. Like, I love that dude to death, and he's great. He came in 3rd place on America's Got Talent, bro.
That's fire.
That's fire.
He's crazy. He was going crazy. I was like, bro, what are you doing? This is nuts. So like, I've met some cool people out of there, and Aftermaster Studio Hollywood, craziest studio I've ever been to. It's just a vibe.
Okay. I like it. Chris, what was your question? What's the craziest studio
I
you've been
think
to?
my favorite though, I like working Astro Studios in Atlanta, bro.
Okay.
So how that worked out was Sada wanted me to work with his old engineer, the guy who made like all his early shit, bro. A whole lot of choppers. Like his name, I be mixing.
Okay,
Atlanta,
I've
bro.
heard of him. Yeah.
See, he fired, bro. So we worked on a song with Snoop. That's how they got.
I remember that.
And,
I remember you telling me about
Two
that.
Freaks, yeah, Two Freaks. Yeah, we did that. We worked on the SSL board. I forget which model, but it was the setup was so crazy that it had a whole room. You know what I'm saying? A whole separate room just for the SSL board. Every piece of gear you could want to work with. It was cool to like soak up some sauce from other people, but the setup there, they got about 3 or 4 rooms, whole kitchenette, like, you know, living room area. Like it's real homey, but it's nice as fuck.
Yeah.
And he don't have 21 Savage, Yachty, you know, he just did a song with 21 and Drake on Utopia, bro. Like
Okay.
He really in the field like that. So it was dope to just get his energy, you know what I'm saying, and learn some shit from him.
I remember we went out to Atlanta. We drove out to Atlanta in the middle of the summer with no AC in the car. No, we was not in the Durango, nigga.
We went somewhere in
the
Durango.
We was in something. That bitch had no AC.
No AC in the middle of the summer?
What's crazy? Middle of the summer, going to Atlanta to do an interview with DJ Small's Eyes.
We had the Durango.
No AC. We had the windows down in that bitch. I was dying, bro.
Damn.
But it's okay. We made it. I still look good. I still look good.
Yeah.
We still did the interview. It was fire, man.
Who was it? DJ Small Eyes.
DJ
right?
Small's Eyes. Yeah, that was.
And
a
then
cool
we met
experience.
Ralph, bro.
And then we met Ralph. Yeah.
Well, and it's so crazy working with certain people because Ralph had a sound and a sauce that we could not finish, bro. Like we could not like recreate that shit.
We couldn't
finish that session.
We tried to recreate it, and it
and
just
we
didn't. It didn't come out how it came out there.
Because it was like, bro, if it's not gonna be as hard as it was that night, we did it. We said, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Man,
I remember that.
Applause to y'all for actually having, you know, the self-awareness to be able to do that, because some artists, they're like, oh, man, I spent all this money. I went and did all this. I experienced all this. I got to drop it just because I did all that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to set yourself back, like take yourself out of that position of you just spent all this crazy money or did all this and realize, like, okay, this song is not it.
You can't
It's
force
not it.
bro.
We cannot
force it.
We tried. We was like, oh, we can do it again. Let's just re-record
it.
it.
Like 3 other engineers, bro, and it didn't come out good.
It didn't come out the same. Shout out Ralph, man.
Yeah, Ralph
a real
Ralph got
nigga.
beats, bro.
Ralph got beats, man. Out in
Ralph
Atlanta. Nigga, real nigga. The Loft podcast is sponsored by Live Cannabis Company and Common Citizen. Live and Common Citizen partnered together in 2021 to bring all your cannabis needs right to your doorstep with retail locations in Ferndale, Detroit, Lake Orion, Lansing, Grand Rapids, and Lapeer. We got everything that you need from your oldest smoker to the youngest. Shout out Live Cannabis Company and Common Citizen. We've been talking about like studios we've been to and, you know, how we started and all that. I want to hear like what's some more goals, because we all set goals for ourselves and just try to hit those marks and surpass them. So, you know, what does the next year, 2 years look like? What artists do you want to work with? What do you want to do?
It's really endless, for real. So, you know, I'm trying to get my own stool.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's always been my dream. And I told Mike, like, look, I'm gonna give you 5 years, bro. Like, I feel like that's good. That's a good number to give.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think November would be my 5th year. So anytime after that, I'm really just trying to get my own stool and just really, you know, have my own foundation. You know,
Yeah,
make
I
my
feel
own
you.
mark in the city.
I feel you.
I'm just
Exactly.
really just trying to, you know, I'm already in the mix as far as like the movement we got in Detroit, but I really want to be like a centerpiece. Like I want people to look back on 20 years from now and be like, Big Chris was the guy, the go-to guy, you know.
Yeah.
All that shit in Detroit back in the day. You know
Yeah, and a lot of ways that can roll to, like some things we used to talk about a lot is like when we used to talk about writing scripts and working for film, like having your own studio and working with a lot of different artists can open those avenues, because people look at studios like, Like, look at Mike. He just filmed some shit for some movie in LA the other day. You know what I mean? So they was like, we just need a studio to come record this song or this audio clip or whatever. So, you know, getting those placements will be big for that too. Man, that's what's up. I think you can do it for sure. We had a studio in the crib.
You will do it.
Don't know. We had the studio in the crib, bro. Back in the day. That was some shit, bro. Those were some crazy
So many
times.
different setups, bro.
Bro, so many different setups. Yeah. That was a vibe back in the day. So ATP, what's going on, man? What do you want to do? What are your aspirations for your next couple years?
I'm forever trying to be the best version of me that I can be.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to be able to get into a position where I can provide for my family through this shit. And I am constantly working very hard to develop a positive brand, and I want to be able to, you know, similar to, you know, Chris's little thing going on here, I might have to, you know, we might have to dibble dabble into a few things, you know, talk about some things, but not necessarily building a studio though, you know, it's more about the name. You know what I mean? I'm really big on that. I want to be able to, you know, be the guy that is putting, you know, good, positive energy into what I do and being known for, you know, being one of the best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that means the most to me. And I don't really like bringing up the accolades, you know what I mean? Because I've learned through the years that, you know, you shouldn't really look at those things as like as a goal, you know what I mean? Because I know I've met so many people, man, that just, you run into them and they're like, yeah, the Grammys are cool, you know, the plaques are cool, but I swear, like, if you are able to do what you love every single day and be able to have a positive impact on the world or the people around you, I feel like, and be able to inspire, man, I feel like you made it if you do that type 100%. Of shit. So like I live on that, you know what I mean? And I let the goals just come to me, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The goals always just, I attract the goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The goals come to me. I'm able to think them into existence, or do what I can to be able to bring them to life. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
You know, if
I feel you kind of. I work in retail, so we got goals.
Exactly.
It's on a whiteboard. We talk about them every week.
Yeah, I have a whiteboard at the crib too that has like little like day-to-day goals.
It's crazy how much that helped though. Just
it
like,
does.
Exactly.
Man, shout out Live Cannabis Common Citizen for teaching me how to structure. Yeah. Like when I first got into retail as a manager working in Ferndale, it was like getting introduced to, well, this is our weekly meeting. Every week at this time, we're going to get together and we're going to talk about, are we winning? Are we losing? What does the next 3 months look like? And just learning that structure has been like vital for my life, bro. Like,
that's important,
that's
for sure.
Good point. And I want to say something. That's something that I'm really finding out, bro. Like, you got to treat this shit like a job.
Yeah.
Being an artist, you really got to be at your craft every single day.
Absolutely.
I heard this story. Akon was saying, like, he learned so much from Eminem. He was like, bro, he in the studio 9 a.m., leaves at 5 p.m., takes a lunch at 12, and he was like, yo, you in the middle of a verse. Like, you not going to finish it? He's like, no, I'll come back to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really treating this bitch like a 9 to 5. And every day when you create that routine is so beneficial, bro. And it's the worst thing I've noticed for any artist or any person doing anything in life, bro. When you start, stop. That will fuck up your whole momentum, bro.
For sure.
Everything that you got going on, you need to be in a flow, a creative flow. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have stability or structure, it's very difficult to really attack it that way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
That has been crazy for me lately, and it, you know, in life as an artist, as a businessman, just structure and doing it every day. Like the gym, like you know how I was at the gym, bro. Like every day, like it really has to be. You have to make it a part of your life, because if you don't, it's gonna feel like a nuisance
Yeah.
because you feel like you're always, out of your comfort. You know what I mean? And it's nothing wrong with being, stepping outside your comfort zone, but it's like it's different when you're just procrastinating, putting stuff off that you should be doing anyway.
Right.
So now every time when you go to do it, it feels like a chore because it's just not implemented in you. It's not something you're used to doing.
Right.
So I feel that heavy because that's been my life for the
Yeah.
last, couple years is really learning that structure. So
See,
all
yeah.
artists, man, get on that for real.
Yeah.
Got to structure. It's
Structure,
a job.
structure.
At the end of
It
the
is.
day,
It is a
it is a job. I can't understand when people be 5 hours late or
I think we know a few, bro.
like, bro, what do you mean? Like, if you getting paid too, you're
Yeah.
crazy.
Bro, how bad is it? Like, how do you get mad when clients are late? Like, how pissed do you get?
It depends if there's somebody after me, like trying to work. If I'm in a studio and somebody's after me, already booked, that's your fault, bro. That's it. You got to pay for that.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't get that. Like, they're like, oh, I pulled up at this time.
No, bro, it's not.
Bro,
bro,
if
it
you
don't
pull
work like
that, I'm avoiding you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm avoiding you at all costs. I don't like being that guy where I'm like not answering people or like
Right.
looking at a message and know that it's there, but I'm not answering it, bro. That shit's petty as hell. But like,
It's
if you
necessary, bro.
if you do that type of shit to me, I'm gonna send that energy right back, bro.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I'm gonna delay the message. Maybe a few more times, like a little bit more than you did. You know what I mean? Like a little bit longer than you expected. But like,
Nah, for sure.
you know what I mean? Like I don't. And if we schedule a time, especially if it's like it happened like a week ago where we scheduled this shit. When I was booking at Get Fresh like a month ago, like you'd have to book a month ahead of time. So like if we booked a month ahead of time, you're running late. Somebody better be dying.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Somebody better be in the hospital, fam. And you better let me know.
Right. Just
And
say something.
what's crazy
Something.
is they don't let you know either.
No,
Exactly.
They don't let you know. They leave you like, hey, it's like, bro, I'm gonna be less mad if you just keep it a
If you
buck
just
with me.
say something.
Just tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you the trick for us that we do it. Like I said, it's a little different, but you can steal this if you like. Nigga sign contracts, and in that contract, nigga, if you are late, if you don't fulfill everything that we write out in this contract, we're not paying you. And that's just how it goes. Unless, and we not that strict. Like it's happened, and we like, all right, what are you gonna do for us? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's how you get, and these, because a lot of the time, like, artists or they don't want to put that out there that they don't do good business because
Right.
that affects what you're trying to do, you
Right,
know?
right.
So that's the way we do it. It's like, man, you got to sign this contract if you want to work, bro. Or I need a deposit. Because if you let them keep it.
Facts.
That's what I do,
I'm
bro.
keeping it if you don't
Deposits,
show up.
Man, I'm not dealing with it, bro.
Send me half, or I'm not playing with you.
So I know Chris got some work to do tonight.
Yeah,
So
man.
I appreciate you coming on, man. This was beautiful. We got to have you
Yes,
back on.
bro. I'm coming back.
We gotta have you back on
here.
here. We're gonna do another episode. We're gonna have the homies on here. Maybe get Steven and them out here too. And go. That's
Hey,
gonna be
we
funny.
need a Pie-Lam episode.
A Pie-Lam
Look,
episode
look,
would be fire.
We're gonna figure that out. I'm gonna get Rick in town, get
Yes.
Steven and
Bro,
DJ, bro.
that should
And
be
Steven,
hilarious.
We gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, we appreciate you, my dog. I love you, man. You are doing great things in the music industry and just in
Hey,
life.
Chris.
And
You too,
bro, we
man.
taking over the world, my nigga.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
All
Bro.
right,
One
my
step
boy.
at a
My
time.
baby. I appreciate
Boy.
y'all.
Appreciate you,
I
my
love you.
nigga. I love you too, bro.
Hey, y'all have a good show. A good day, everybody.
Yes, sir.
The Loft is sponsored by Live Cannabis Company and Common Citizen. Come live your best life. Download our highly loyal club app to find a store near you.
We've been touching on a lot today about like, the come up and what the goals are and, things like that. I want to get a little more depth into like the creative aspect of it because, your name is ATP, Anton the producer. So you do more than just engineer, you make your own music. We got a couple tracks that are produced by you.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
I've always loved your sound, and so tell us a little bit about that, like your craft and producing, like what's your methods, what's your inspiration, shit like that.
Very organic, man. Especially nowadays. Before I was just making beats, man, and then like if somebody liked it, cool, they liked it. But I'm like nowadays, I'm getting with the artists. I'm getting to know the artists. Maybe I'll even record them over some different styles of beats just to see what they're into that are not mine, of course. Like just pick beats that they picked, and then I'm like, okay, I understand what the sound that they attract to. I understand that the energy that they want to put out. So like I feel like once I get to know the artist, then a couple of days of just like hanging out, maybe recording, maybe not, experiencing life with the artist.
Yeah.
And then going in the studio, I feel like that way is like so organic and like so, it's such a beautiful way of making music because it just becomes so, the egos go away, the anxiety of if somebody has anxiety problems goes away, you know what I mean? And like, and it just becomes natural, and it's almost like God or the universe, however you want to handle it, just comes to you with these ideas, and you're able to attract them so easily, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that way of making music for me right now has been so beneficial, in all aspects, man. So it's real organic. It's real, I guess you could say strategic in a sense, but, and it just makes it easier for me, I guess. Like I've been working with kids so long, bro. Like I already know what he wants, bro. I can make a beat. I can make like 5 beats in a day and like be like, these ones for sure, undeniable. And I'm all about undeniable greatness. If it's not undeniably great, then we need to keep going and make some more until it's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that alone, I need that energy when I give somebody a beat. I need that energy when I'm making something for somebody. So you have to know somebody in order to do that. So I'm big on that. That's one of my big philosophies, I guess, is just getting to know the person, understanding what they look for, understanding their sound, and building from there.
That's super important for, just working with artists and just in business in general. Like when you get to know somebody a little bit more on a personal level, y'all can work a little better together because you understand how that person processes thoughts and what they're looking for, like you said, when you're making music and creating. Same way with working with artists and collabing with people. Like, the more y'all collab, you just find that dynamic that works. Like me and Gamo, man. Gamo, it's easy getting in the studio with Gamo.
What?
It's butter because I already know what types of beats he wants. I already know what type of vibe he's gonna come on certain types of beats. So it just makes that creative process a lot easier and a lot more fun.
It's flow. It's all about that flow, man. If you don't get that in the studio and you're not having fun and you're not feeling like too much is on your plate and all that stuff, like it needs to have that flow. Otherwise, it's just practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm big on that. You know what I mean? Like
we talking about practice,
right? We ain't talking about the game.
We ain't talking about the game, not the game.
And that's the thing. When you're in the studio, it is the game.
It's the game,
but sometimes it turns out to be practice.
No cap. Those be the worst, bro. You go in the studio like it just was an L today, man. And sometimes people still will like that shit, but it's like to you as the artist, you're like, it was an L today, bro. We just came in this bitch with some bullshit.
But like I said before, when Chris was here, it's so important to understand that. And I want everybody to understand that for real. Like, you have to have the self-awareness to step back and say, listen, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
It's either the mix, it's either the beat, the song, the lyrics, whatever. Like, if it ain't it, it ain't it. Don't put it out. You know what I mean? Like, if you have that feeling inside of you, don't put it out. I mean, God forbid if you're like super like, you gotta put something out. You're like itching to put something out. But like,
it's nothing wrong with taking a step back and giving it another listen. You can always improve. It doesn't have to. It's damn near needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
And especially with the oversaturation of music now, like if it sounds like everybody else and it's just not hitting for real, it's like almost no point. But it's like it's nothing wrong with taking a step back and changing things too. Like feel like a lot of artists, in the space of like an up and coming artist, you don't like something and then you kind of just trash it. Mm-hmm. And maybe it needs to be trashed, or maybe you just need to go tweak something. Maybe you need to rewrite the verse. Maybe you need to sing this a little different.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with going back, but like you said, you got to know when it ain't it.
Absolutely, man. And I tell artists all the time, like, if you're forcing something in the studio and I feel that energy, I'm stopping us. And I'm saying, yo, this feels like mad forced. Like, maybe we should step away and do something else, or like go outside and like look at a tree or something for a second, you know what I mean? Experience life for like 2 seconds, and then like come back in and maybe we have some different ideas that we can catch on to. Like, so.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's like, I always thought, I won't say it's weird for me, but like being in a new space, like, can just rejuvenate your flow of ideas. Like,
Bro, yes.
Going on vacation or just going somewhere where it's peaceful and it's beautiful. Absolutely. Or just doing something a little different. You know, it just tweaks your perspective a little bit, and you'd be surprised what you can come up with. Like if you're having writer's block or if you're going through something, whatever, just like you said, go look at a tree, bro. It might help you.
Right.
You might come up with some fire shit.
Right. Exactly. Like, and that's like that's just like a minimum way of saying things. You know what I mean? Like, you're so right about experiencing life. That's a part of the creative process, man. If you don't go out and see new things and have a routine that's slightly different, or you know, see something in life that you haven't seen before, or like a certain just action or whatever, like that might spark something that gives you an idea to write about, or gives you at least a bar. You know what I mean? If you're rapping, like, it might at least give you a hard, like, metaphor or something. Like, oh, shit, like, this just happened on the street. I could say that about the street. Like,
I heard one of the coldest, weakest bars I've ever heard in my life. That nigga said,
what's that?
Nigga said, if you run up on me, you better be an athlete. I was like, nigga, what? That's kind of cold. That shit's so stupid, though, but it's low-key was fire when he said it. Nigga said, you run up on me, you better be an athlete. Oh, shit.
Generic as hell, but bro's hard as hell for saying that.
I swear to God. Dog, that shit was crazy. But no, like you said, bro, just being out in random places and, you know, hearing new music, seeing, you know, hearing new sounds, meeting new people, seeing, you know, a new scenery. It can be so refreshing, and you definitely got to do that. You got to clean your palate every once in a while.
Yeah, and me as a producer too, we like going out with the artist and just like going on a hike or something, and like, or like I don't know, like just going to a concert. I don't know, whatever you can find to do with the artist and just have conversation, getting to know them. I swear, if you do that and then go into the studio, it is so easy. Unless you're like, you totally understand their sound already. You know what I mean? Some people, like, they've been making type beats for so long that they understand their sound. Like, once they get into the studio with them, it's solid. But, like, I feel like it's very, very important to do that. I don't know. A lot of people, like, take, like, away from that nowadays, too, because they're so forced to just make a whole bunch of beats a day and, like, send them off. And it's like we're losing the substance in that, and it's and I don't know. I don't want to be a stickler on that, but there's something in there that when the audience hears it, they feel it. So it's important to be with each other and understand each other. That's why these big artists, when they work with these producers, they're producers. They're big, but they're producers that they've been chilling with, and like the labels make sure that they have time together to get to know each other and stuff like that, because that's what the best music comes out of that. You know what I mean? 100%. You can definitely get into the studio nowadays and make a beat for an artist that you barely know, and it's cool, but I feel like just the substance, and if you're making an album, it's got to be a producer that you know and understand and understands your sound for real.
For sure. A lot of people do that, like the thing like what I think Master P did it with Snoop Dogg. When Snoop left Death Row, Master P signed him, and he moved him and his family into like this apartment building with a bunch of producers and rappers.
Wait, I
and
didn't
like,
even
nigga,
hear
we
about
just
this.
gonna make music, and they lived together in an apartment building. And they made Snoop Dogg's first album coming out when he got with No Limit.
See?
And that's, you know, Drake did that with I Love McConan. When I Love McConan was making all those bangers like Look at Wrist and all that with Father and shit, he put I Love McConan in an apartment building with producers and with rappers. Like, just create. You feel me? And if you get to know each other and spend time, like, exactly. A lot of dope music comes out of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a formula. A lot of these they're like the bigger artists that have labels, they use that formula. It's a little more intimate, you know. Like Jamie Foxx did something similar with Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran got popping because Jamie Foxx took him in, and he was sleeping on Jamie Foxx's couch.
Exactly.
And Jamie Foxx is real popular with like he throws parties and has big sessions in his house.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always artists there and always people to entertain. So Ed got a lot of that sauce living with Jamie Foxx.
Absolutely.
And being around creators, and that's where a lot of his best music came from.
A lot of artists have that same story too with Jamie Foxx. Like I've heard,
yeah,
like bro,
for real.
this is crazy.
For real,
shout out
man.
Jamie.
Shout
But
out
like,
Jamie.
like it's important, man. That's what music's about, is being able to, curate something together in harmony. And in order to be in harmony, you have to like get to know each other at least a little bit. Unless like the connection off rip is like beautiful.
Yeah, because that happens.
Because that does happen. Absolutely.
Happens. That
And
just
off
happened
rip,
to me
fuck
recently.
it. Get in the studio and go crazy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But like, I like to get to know my people and understand what they look for, and I'll do mixes for them and I'll record them, and if I have to, in order to get to that point. And that's what it is.
All right, man. So, kind of want to wrap it up. I want to. So, where can people find you? What can we look forward to coming from you? You're like, what's the next step?
I just fucking got a tag for my beats, so I'm about to start using the fuck out of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm about to use and abuse that. Shout out my boy GL Bonacci. He got his girl to do it for me, and it was just like him and I in the studio, and we were vibing. She was there, and he was like, "Babe, say I like that, Anton," in front of the microphone, and it was the first take. Boom! I was like, "Perfect, universe, thank you, God, thank
Hell
you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's been working. I've been using it on Kid stuff, so I got some hard ass shit coming out with Kid.
I need some
That I
ATP
produced.
beats. I ain't had one in a couple years.
We're gonna get you some, and then from there, I'm gonna be just abusing that as long as I can, and just be able to keep finding talent. And I'm in LA right now, so I'm back and forth doing a lot of things. But I want to be able to find some good talent and build with them and make some stuff happen with everybody. In the city, the city's going crazy. We gotta go even harder to really prove ourselves. So.
Yeah, man, we've been making a lot of noise, bro. Did you see the Rolling Loud footage?
Bro, I didn't see it, but I keep hearing about it, so I gotta see it.
So I'm gonna go a little further. I was at Rolling Loud Miami last year, and Babytron performed, and he performed on one. So if you've ever been to Rolling Loud, it's like a 6-7 stages. They're all a mile away from each other, but they do it because there's so many people there. It's like 200,000 people or something. It's crazy. So Babytron was at this one stage that was by one of the really big stages, and it was still a nice size, but he had it packed out, bro, front to end. Like, to get to other stages, you had to walk through his crowd, and that was last year.
Tron's going
and
crazy.
Then this year, they had Tron there, and they brought Skilla, and then Skilla had Sada, T, and all them with them, too. And same thing, packed out crowd, bro. It's crazy. And some people on those stages, the crowd is not packed like that. So seeing it then, and then now and then this happening again this year, but having more artists there and more artists being signed
Bro.
now, popping from the city, like, it's a spotlight on us. But
I love
it's
to
always
see it.
been raw talent here, bro.
Man.
Like, it's always been crazy. It's always been, niggas being super witty with their bars and the business. One fact, and y'all can fact check me on this, but I just saw a fact a couple weeks ago. Didn't know this. In the 50s, Detroit was one of the richest cities in America. I didn't know that. I think it was the richest city in America in the 50s. And it's on the comeback, man. It's beautiful things happening here. So, and you are one of those lights out here, just to let you know, man, to give you your flowers. I'm glad you came.
We gotta go harder, man. We gotta be real, like this. That's why I'm about the substance, man, because that's Detroit, man. We're about that real, music. So that's why I'm real, like, strategic in that sense. I want to be able to make real music with you, and in order to do that, I got to know who you are and like what you look for. So like, yes, I'm super happy where the city's at, and it's like I'm in LA right now, but like I still work with. I swear I work with more Detroit artists. Even and when I'm in LA, I'm running into more Detroit artists. I'm like.
It's
Someone's telling me like,
and
yo,
you back and forth. You be on it, bro. I be having to catch you. You be
Man,
here and there all the time, man. I love the motion always.
Bro, yeah, Detroit, LA, Vegas, Chicago. We got motion everywhere. I got a homie in Florida, Swing Diesel. We got fucking bro, like I'm trying to be able to help anybody possible. Colorado, even like people like states that you would never even thought of, like artists would be coming out. Like you would never know I'm making some bluegrass music.
Hell yeah, dog. Hey, you got to, bro. I just made, I've always been I just made a rock song. Afro.
Yes.
Bro, we trying to go crazy. You gotta dip in other markets, bro. It's a lot of people listening to music.
Yes, bro. Trying different things is so important. Even if you don't put it out, trying those things is, and especially if it's like something that resonates with you. Like, I don't know if you were listening to rock back in the day, and that's what inspired it.
For sure.
I listened to rock back in the day, bro. I would love to. I've made rock songs that have like trap beats in it, like that's.
This was straight rock. This is crazy. I
Going
rap
crazy.
on it, but I sing on it too, and it was a fun record to
Were
make.
were you hella auto tuned out or
No,
like?
it actually sounded. I made it with Chris.
Okay.
It sounds really good. We did like a lot of layers. We threw some harmonies in there. I don't like being super because it sounds real robot-y.
Yeah.
But it's fire. I had to send it to you. You gotta check it out.
Uh,
Yeah, we've been on some shit in here.
He's
bro.
up to something. Hey, that's dope. I love that. I love that energy, and I love trying those things because it puts me in a different element, and I learn different things when I'm in those moods. You know what I mean? Even if it don't come out, like when you're working on stuff like that, you learn different things, and you can express your music through those ways that you learned, and that's important. Just being able to constantly grow, be a student to the game at any moment. Like we're at this point, but like there's so much of a higher point that we can get to just by learning and keep learning, and I'll be learning till the day I die. So
be a sponge, bro.
always, man. Like no matter where you go, and if you're in the studio, your ego's put to the side. We gotta there's none of that. We just gotta be ourselves at any given moment.
Word, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been, like I said, it's been a blessing to watch you just blossom and grow from where we were when we met to where we are today, and just the heights we're gonna go to in life. And I say that with a lot of confidence because I believe in you, and I know that you're about your business, and you've always been a good person and somebody that I really admired, and I'm glad that you're my friend and my brother and
my boy.
I love you. I appreciate you coming to fuck.
I love you too, bro. For real, it's a pleasure, and like you're a big part of that whole process, bro. You know what I mean? And we just all want to be great at the end of the day. So, I mean, you helped me get to another step. You know what I mean? And you deserve, everybody deserves to know that, for real. Felix and Chris, bro. They pulled up and they believed in me, brought me to the studio, and it is what it is.
You made it easy, my brother. So, man, that is episode 2 of The Loft. I appreciate y'all fucking with me, man. We're going to keep them coming every other week on season 1. Anton, man, appreciate you, my dog.
It's a pleasure.
All right, we out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week. Welcome back to the Loft Studios, and today we got my boy Jolo Reeves. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay. I said thank God. If you're having a good day and you woke up feeling great, don't forget to thank God. He can take it all away, it'll never be the same. Don't forget to thank. How many flows does this kid got? It's part of the plot, whether you're ready or not. Y'all gotta give me my props, I don't stop doing the math for cash a lot. Shout out to Pops, working till I'm a drop, bringing I get to the top, hope it don't flop. If you still don't really get it, then I got a system. I've been killing instrumentals since the day I turned 7. I'm gonna get him a vitamin cause they don't know what it's like to be 12. I'm rapping it faster than half of the grown man around, just for the hell of it. I'll make it better than everyone, then I get rid of them. Everyone doing the minimal, making me think I'm invisible. It's like a digital ritual, sort of habitual, critical, typical, pitiful, sick individual. It isn't that unforgettable, but it don't care about the negative. I'ma keep eating the beat like a medical edible. If y'all weren't with me back then, I can't let you in my circle now that I caught you lacking. Look how you acting. Everyone treating me like I'm a savage, like you used to be nice. Tell me what happened. Well, a lot's changed, so stop thinking that I'm not adaptable. Spit it fast, not pass lateral. Get it back and it's mathematical. Get the cash and they act dramatical. I don't care what y'all gonna do, but I just know that I got a lot to lose, so I'ma thank God. If you're having a good day and you woke up feeling great, don't forget to thank God. He can take it all away, it'll never be the same. Don't forget to thank God. I said thank God. I said thank God.
Man, everybody make some noise for my boy Jolo Reeves. I appreciate you coming out, my guy. That is the Loft Podcast, and we will see y'all in a couple weeks. I'm Felix the Don, and we out.